All right, guys. Welcome to the Pitchfork podcast for February 10th, 2021. If you like the stream, guys, make sure you hit like button, make sure you hit the share button, make sure that you sharing the content, make sure that you let people know that I run this show for you every day. So we're going to be doing things a little bit differently going on forward. At 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having our general news show with the Pitchfork podcast, guys. We're going to be clipping out a lot of those episodes, and so we're going to be giving you some clips from the day before, maybe do a video or two, maybe not all of the videos, but we're going to be doing some general news for this segment. Now, if you want the more edgier side of me, the more edgier side of Devil's Advocate, at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can get that. I'll be running some pretty interesting streams, some more edgier streams where I just go off. But for these general news stories, I just want to have a general news show, but given to you from a freedom and liberty perspective. Now, with that being said, we're going to get right into the news. If you guys have a favorite news source that you want me to read from, you want me to cover, you want me to look into a certain story, let me know. Let me know. Also, guys, I'm going to be giving you some links so that if you want to participate in the show, you can do that. You can do that several ways, all right? Well, one of two ways, actually. But you can also mess around in a live chat. Doesn't really bother me at all. All right, guys. If you like, okay, to participate in the show, dial 253-203-6784 or join my Discord server's voice chat, and I'll give you a link right there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and post this in the Twitch chat because Twitch has been showing me some love, but I'm also going to post it in the YouTube chat. All right, so I want to give everybody some love because everybody's been showing me some love, some big love, and I appreciate that. So, but I want to give you guys a general news show, and this is what this time slot is going to be. All right. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the news. Directly. We have several stories that we're going to be covering. One story that we are covering is going to be from Fox News. Several stories that we're going to be covering are going to be from other places. But for right now, I want you all to know that we're going to be covering news stories, not just from the left, not just from the right, but from all over the place. The reason why I do that is because I want people to get their news in several other ways and not just one way. With that being said, guys, let's get straight into the news. All right, let's go over to the live scene. I like this live scene a little bit more. Let me know if you like this one or the other one more. Here's one option, and here's option two. I personally like this one more because I can see the chat there and I can see what you guys are saying. I don't have to keep like going over tabs. I kind of like this one more, and it looks a little bit better in my opinion. So, but anyways, we're gonna get right into the news, guys. Let's go ahead and cover the first news story of the day, the first one of the day. All right, so there's a few news stories that I want to cover from the New York Times. I'm going to cover that in a second, but this is the first news story. It's going to be from Fox News. So I'm going to give you links to that in the live chat. That way you guys can have that. All right, so I'm going to give you a link over there in Twitch. Let me go and drop one in the YouTube chat. Because again, guys, I want to give you guys links. That way you guys can have it. By the way, there is live chat replay on YouTube. At least, so if you're on YouTube, you can see the live chat replay. So if you have to go back and get some links, you can go ahead and do that. All right. So with that being said, let's get into the first news story from Fox News, published 1 hour ago from this point. Democrats dub Trump the insider-in-chief for provoking mob, refusing to stop January 6th attack. He told them to fight like hell, and they brought us hell, said lead impeachment manager, Representative Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland. Yes, they are dubbing him the insider-in-chief. Democratic impeachment managers made the case Wednesday that the January 6th attack on the Capitol was no accident, but rather a premeditated and foreseeable outcome after former President Donald Trump spread lies about election rigging, summoned a mob to Washington, D.C., and then incited them to fight like hell. Impeachment prosecutors said when the attack was underway at the Capitol, forcing terrified lawmakers into the shelter, that Trump then abdicated his oath of office by failing to immediately call off the well-orchestrated mob. He told them to fight like hell, and they brought us hell that day. Representative Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland, the lead impeachment manager said in kicking off day 2 of the impeachment trial against Trump. All right, so he did nothing to help us as commander-in-chief, Raskin added. Instead, he served as insider-in-chief. Impeachment Day 1 recap. Dems in Trump trial used graphic video of Capitol attack. Again, that video is pretty interesting. I did a reaction to it. I think I'm going to clip it to make it like a separate dedicated video. But anyways, let's move on here. Democrats have 16 hours between Wednesday and Thursday to make their case to the Senate on why Trump should be convicted of incitement of insurrection for the January 6th riot that left 5 people dead at the Capitol and 140 police officers wounded. Then Trump's legal team will have 16 hours to make their case to defend the former president. Trump spent months telling supporters the only way he could lose the election to President Biden was if votes were rigged. So when he sensed defeat, Trump told his supporters the big lie that the election was stolen from him, impeachment managers argued. Relying on Trump's tweets and video statements, impeachment prosecutors sought to show a direct link between Trump's lies about the election and the escalating response by his supporters who mobbed vote counting centers, antagonized local election officials, and eventually descended on Washington, parroting Trump's rallying cry to stop the steal. As his legal challenges failed, Trump said he would never surrender, and he sent his supporters a save the date to assemble in Washington, D.C. on January 6th to fight the election count in Congress, predicting it will be wild. This attack was provoked by the president, incited by the president, said Representative Joe, I want to say Neguse or Neguse, it could be. Democrat from Colorado, and as a result, it was predictable and it was foreseeable. This mob was well orchestrated. Their conduct was intentional. They did it all in plain sight, proudly and openly and loudly, because they truly believe that they were doing this for him. Impeachment manager said the impeachment charge isn't based on one speech Trump made, but rather months of statements made by Trump leading up to the attack, where he convinced his base they were robbed of their votes and were primed to do something to stop the certification of a stolen election. Instead of accepting the results or pursuing legitimate claims, he told his base more lies, said Representative Eric Swalwell, Democrat from California. Another impeachment manager said he doused the flames with kerosene. This was a deliberate, premeditated incitement to his base to attack our capital while the counting was going on, Swalwell added, and it was foreseeable, especially to President Trump, who warned us he knew what was coming. Democrats also focused on Trump's delayed response to the attack as it was underway. In his first video message to supporters, he continued to stoke grievances on election fraud and told rioters to go home, though adding, "We love you, you're very special." Impeachment managers showed quotes from Trump supporters who stormed the Capitol, stating they did so because Trump ordered them to. Neguse said Trump alone had the power to order the mob to stop the violence, and his failure to do so likely caused lives and injuries. Neguse asked senators to picture the outcome if Trump had tweeted immediately stop the attack with half as much force as he repeatedly said stop the steal. How many lives would we have saved? Neguse asked. That is a very good question. He did push stop the steal harder than he pushed stop the attack. And that's just a fact. We can't get around that. We can't talk around that. That's reality. So right now they're looking to try to convict him. The impeachment is already done. It's just now up to the conviction. So let me go ahead and move on to the next news story. Again, from Fox News. Illinois tenants shocked to find they're living in Kyle Rittenhouse's old apartment report. Wow. We were not connected to Kyle Rittenhouse in any sort of way, one resident said. I can kind of suspect the reason why this story became a story. I can kind of suspect the reason why this story became a story, because maybe some people were going after Kyle Rittenhouse, and when they look it up his address, they're finding that place. I can kind of see where this is going. I think, all right. All right. We have a phone call here. All right, 812, you're on the line with the Pitchfork Podcast. How you doing?
Can you pull out your dick and start jerking off on stream?
What? That? Why? Someone just asked me to pull. That's just precious. It's just precious, you know? Stuff like that is just precious. But, you know, anyways, anybody else got any more trolley comments to make? Anything else? Is that it? Is this the grand finale? All right, so let me go ahead and try to call this number back out of 447 number. Let me see what happens. So certain people want it so badly to call in and just say some gay shit like that. Like, why would you want to call in so badly to say some gay shit like that? That's just weird. That's just weird. But anyways, if you guys want to call in, number to call in is 253-203-6784. Once again, number to call in is 253-203-6784. By the way, you know, that's too easy to clip out. A little dumb comment, but whatever it is what it is. Let's get back to the news stories, because again, I get into news stories. These guys get into trolling. That's all they have. They don't have anything legitimate to actually come at me with. I'm used to it. So, anyways, if anyone has anything interesting to say, call in. Let me know. And I'm just sitting here waiting in my live chat, and for some reason, no one's here coming to the live chat. You know, it's just a lot of just smack talk, but it's not a whole lot of facing me off. So, once again, you know, these people say that kind of weird gay shit, and then want you to touch on them and hug on them and shit. It's like, whatever, bro. I can't do that. Anyways, not that I'm against gay, you know, like gay people. You know, have your fun, baby. But, you know, I just ain't. I'm not with it. Anyways, this is a Fox News story coming out of Illinois, published 2 hours ago from the time of this recording. All right. Illinois tenants shocked to find they're living in Kyle Rittenhouse old apartment report. No, we're not connected to Kyle Rittenhouse in any sort of way, one resident said, written by Stephanie Pagones of Fox News. An Illinois couple was shocked to learn they had become loosely enmeshed in a Wisconsin court case simply because they moved into an apartment where Kyle Rittenhouse had previously lived, according to a report. Anna Mueller and Aiden Earl told local news station WISN TV they weren't aware when they moved into the Antioch apartment that the address had been made public as part of the pending criminal case against the 18-year-old who faces multiple charges, including homicide and being a minor in possession of a firearm. Wow. So they just moved into like this place, and it's publicly available. So you know what the Spurgs on the internet probably did. You already know what the Spurgs on the internet probably did. And that is so unfortunate. You know what the Spurgs to the internet probably already did. I mean, that's not funny, but it's like, it's just funny to see people do dumb shit, you know, dumb shit, and that's just dumb, you know, going after an innocent couple because they happen to live, you know, as if people live all in the same spot now and forever. You didn't figure that people move around, that no one stays. You know, it's just so bizarre that we live on a planet with some of these people who are just smooth brain. We were shocked for obvious reasons, Earl recently told the station. He later added, no, we're not connected to Kyle Rittenhouse in any sort of way, and he does not live here anymore. So hopefully people kind of leave us be. Leave us be. America, fuck yeah! America.
You're about to experience a nigga moment.
I should have played that. I should have played that beforehand. You know, just America.
It seems to me a strange thing.
Strange. Why would you go after somebody because they live at a certain address, right? With the assumption that the person who you understand is being watched day and night, right? You understand that. So even if you was there, unless there's police officers there 24/7, right? Unless there's police officers there 24/7, right? Unless there's news cameras there 24/7, you do understand he's probably not there, right? You do get that. Like, it is so incredible that you have people out there who actually believe you're going to find Kyle Rittenhouse at a random apartment. It's just absolutely incredible. The lengths in which, the lengths of stupidity, the amount of stupid people that we have in this country, just stupid people that we have in this country. It's just absolutely, it's a shock to the system when you have people who go out of their way to do and say the stupidest shit possible and then expect sympathy from people like me. It's just absolutely incredible. And then you get people who call in and say, hey, can you pull your penis out on damn camera? I mean, what kind of gay, ridiculous shit is that? What kind of ridiculous shit is that? Just dumb shit. Just silly shit. Right? Why would someone go out of their way to say something like that? Right? You don't think that that's just a little bit weird? Just a little weird that's their argument. That's their go-to. They can't debate me. Can't talk to me. Can't call in to actually debate their ideas, so they got to go in and say gay shit. I mean, if you're on the right, is this your king? Are these your tactics? Is this how you convince people? Because if so, I am not impressed. I gotta say, I gotta say, I am not only am I not impressed, right? I almost want to say you're intentionally bad. Like you want to lose. So it's like the people who do stuff like that, if you're on the right, I would disassociate with them because they could be another Candace fucking Owens. Another Baked Alaska. You know how that goes, right? You know how that goes. But let's move on. It's just incredible stuff. People say some weird shit, dude. Weird shit. But let's move on here. It's just, and what makes it so disturbing, right? It's just, they say that shit and then they say it almost like they expect me to say, "Oh yeah, let's do that." Like, no, that's weird, bro. If you want to, put your hands on me or something, fill me up. I mean, that's cool and everything. I got fans who are like that. I totally get it, but maybe you could try to find yourself a woman, or find yourself another man who might be into that. But as for me, stay away from my booty. You feel me? As for me, stay away from my booty. All right. Prosecutors allege Rittenhouse moved out of the apartment he shared with his mother after he posted a $2 million cash bond in November and hasn't given the court his new address. A judge has scheduled a hearing for Thursday on whether to arrest or increase bail for Rittenhouse after he allegedly failed to update his address with the court. We're realizing that our address is very public to whoever wants it, Mueller reportedly said. There's been a lot of, okay, make sure the blinds stay closed, make sure those doors are locked, double checking everything again. Judge Bruce Schroeder scheduled the hearing for Thursday afternoon for Rittenhouse, who's accused of shooting Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, and Gage Grosskreutz, I want to say, killing Rosenbaum and Huber and wounding Grosskreutz during protests in Kenosha in August. So once again, these people are being terrorized, not because they've done anything with Kyle Rittenhouse or killed anyone, which I think Kyle Rittenhouse is a goddamn murderer, personally. Personally, I do. I don't care if you don't agree. If you don't agree, call in. Don't just troll. Call in. Stop being a little bitch about it. I run this show every day. I give everybody the opportunity to come in, actually confront me. Stop being a little bitch about it. Just call in. Lord. I mean, are you gonna sit here and just troll for the rest of your freaking life? Is that how you win your freaking arguments? Because I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed. I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed. Right? So, come and debate me. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer who should go to prison for the rest of his life. I said it. You got a problem with it? Call in. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer who should go to prison for the rest of his life. If you got an issue with that, call in. Tell me how wrong I am. But I'm going to say it again. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer who should go to prison for the rest of his life. I said it. I'm not going to apologize for saying it. I meant every word of it. Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer who should go to prison for the rest of his life. They shouldn't even let him out for air. They should throw him in a cell and suffocate him to death. Personally, I would give him the goddamn death penalty. They executed George Stinney, right, in South Carolina. George, listen, based on history, don't say shit to me. Based on history, for the amount of black children that we have executed, even though they were fucking innocent, or for the more minor goddamn offenses, don't say shit to me. Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking murderer who should go to prison for the rest of his life. They shouldn't even let him out for damn recreation. They should keep him locked up forever with his fat, pudgy, woman-beating self. Stay locked up, you piece of shit. That's all I got to say about Kyle Rittenhouse. All right, so we're going to move on to the next story. All right. Oh, my God. NBA requiring teams to play national anthem after Mark Cuban acts song for Mavs games. The Mavericks haven't played the national anthem in prior home games this season. This is written by Paulina Dijaj from Fox News. So once again, the so-called fuck your feelings crowd, the crowd that claims that they don't worry about trying to censor things and try to force people to do things, and you know it's about fuck your feelings, feelings and free speech. That's what they told me. They told me they cared about free speech. I mean, I was told that, right? I'm pretty sure that you were told that. You were told the exact same thing, right? They cared about free speech. They cared about not silencing people, about not trying to force people into doing things that they didn't want to do. I was told that, right? I was told that. But it's strange how the cookie crumbles when it comes to things on the right that people don't want to just talk about, right? So let's go ahead and get into the story here. The NBA is requiring all teams play the national anthem before games in keeping with long-standing league policy. Just one day after Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban told The Athletic the team decided not to play it at home games. NBA Chief Communications Officer Mike Bass released a statement on Wednesday, just a day after Cuban said he had no plans to play the national anthem at any future home games. With NBA teams now in the process of welcoming back fans into their arenas, all teams will play the national anthem in keeping with long-standing league policy, Bass said. Cuban told the New York Times, "We are good with it." You know, I don't have an issue with that. I don't take an issue with the league requiring this, mainly because I don't think, you know, setting a standard like that necessarily like interferes with anyone's free speech, because then you'd have to make the argument that the arena music that's being played, some of the music that I would argue is a little bit vulgar, a little bit too vulgar to have some of the younger fans out there. And even if it's just like a musical tune, those younger fans know where those songs come from. Like I remember it was an older game, like back like long time ago, years ago, but they were playing the tune from like a Little John song. Like, ski ski. I can't remember like what's the name of that song, but it's like they weren't playing the words, but it was like they were playing the actual instrumental, you know. So the kids, they've all heard that song on the freaking internet or like the radio, or their mama is playing it in the car, you know. So all the kids know what that song is. It's like, and you're playing the tune of that at a freaking NBA game, like a family game, you know. But so, I mean, I guess, you know, the only way I would have an issue with that is if players had a choice in the type of music, a type of other things that come out to the stadiums. But players and the owners and the coaches, they don't have a choice in that, right? So, you know, I don't have an issue with the NBA doing this, and mainly because they're mostly centered in the U.S. I don't have an issue with it. If that's their standard, that's their standard. And if it's the same standard for every team, I don't have an issue with it. I would have an issue if they told people you gotta put your hand over your freaking heart, or you gotta take your freaking hat off, or you gotta do all that stuff, right? I would have an issue with that. But just playing the national anthem, right? I don't have an issue with. In fact, in many cases, you actually don't have to line up, you know, to go and listen to the actual national anthem. You can stay in the freaking locker room. So long as you give people options, I have no issue with it. I don't see a problem. No one's losing their jobs. And so far, you know, Mark Cuban has complied, you know, so no one's been fined. You know, when people start getting fined, that's when I start taking the issue. All right. The Mavericks have not played the national anthem at any home games at American Airlines Center this season, a decision Cuban made back in November. Sources close to Cuban told The Athletic earlier Wednesday that the decision wasn't because they don't love the U.S., but because many feel the anthem doesn't represent them, and they want to continue discussion on how to represent people from all communities when honoring the U.S. at the games. I'm adding in some more words because the freaking statement is just, you know, not really making a whole lot of sense without me doing that. So anyways, let's actually continue here. The league's announcement appears to be a reversal from its initial response on Tuesday, which NBA spokesman Tim Frank told the Associated Press, under the unique circumstances of this season, teams are permitted to run their pregame operations as they see fit. Cuban issued another statement Wednesday saying that the team will play the anthem later that night during their home game against the Atlanta Hawks. We respect and always have respect the passion people have for the anthem in our country, the statement began. I have always stood for the anthem with my hand over my heart, no matter where I hear it played. He continued, but we also hear the voices of those who do not feel the anthem represents them. We feel they also need to be respected and heard because they have not been heard. The hope is that those who feel passionate about the anthem being played will be just as passionate in listening to those who do not feel it represents them. The Mavs released a team statement as well. I want to see that team statement because, again, it's very interesting to hear position. I don't want to verify my phone number. I'm not doing that. No, I'll just read it like right here. Then screw it. We respect and have always respected the passion people have for the anthem in our country, but we also loudly hear the voices of those who feel that the anthem does not represent them. We feel that their voices need to be respected and heard because they have not been heard. Going forward, our hope is that people will take the same passion they have for this issue and apply the same amount of energy to those to listen to those who feel differently from them. Only then we can move forward and have courageous conversations that move this country forward and find what unites us. That was put out on February 10th, which is today at 12:10 p.m. So I get it. I get the reason why Mark Cuban did it, and it makes sense. So that you have a lot of players on that team, players in the league, because it's mostly a black league. So you got to kind of understand that, like, it's mostly a black league, and a lot of players don't feel that anthem. Because you don't feel that certain words in an anthem doesn't represent your reality, doesn't mean that you hate your country. But we got to get past that, man. We got to get past that whole ridiculous circle jerk, man. It's just obscene how some people see things as just black and white. There's a bigger story than just, them bad, they good, and if you don't like anthem, then you bad. There's more to the story than just that black and white approach. There's more nuance to that, man. Mark Cuban is not some hardcore, Black Lives Matter activist. He's the same guy who made the statement of if I see a shady looking black guy, I'm crossing the street. If I see a shady looking white, white guy, I'm crossing the street. He actually made that statement. And he kind of went into detail about the freaking white guy. He's like, if he's wearing a hoodie, he's got all the tattoos and everything else, I'm crossing the street the same way I'm crossing the black guy who looks freaking, who looks shady, and that's not racial. He's just being honest. He's like, people look shady no matter race. I've met shady people of every racial background, and he has a point. So he's not this hardcore Black Lives Matter guy, right? He's just not. But I think that the reason why he was doing it was that Mark Cuban is also the same guy who is very similar to Donald Trump, except he's more left-wing, right? He's more center-left. And so he's just like Trump in that he does and says shocking stuff to get your attention. Because he used this opportunity to put out that freaking statement. Oh, you feel the way you feel about the anthem. That's great. About words in the freaking song. Well, these people don't feel that way, and here's why. Do you see what Mark Cuban did? Do you see why Mark Cuban is a multi-billionaire? You couldn't have played that any more perfectly. Yeah, people are gonna say, "Oh, you're anti-American trash. You're a libtard." They're gonna say all that, right? But they were gonna say that anyways because he's the owner of a freaking NBA team. They were gonna say that anyways. And he criticized Donald Trump before. You criticized Donald Trump even once. You were a freaking left-wing communist, pretty much. So he had nothing to fucking lose. Nicely played, Mark. Nicely played. We obviously have some more news stories here, but we're going to go over to YouTube real quick. We're going to look at a video. I don't preload the YouTube videos now for the actual show. I look them up like live because, again, there could be breaking news, but there's several things that I saw on trending that if they're still there, we're going to look at it because there were 3 stories in particular that caught my attention. Boy, that was there were 3 stories that I saw. Yes. So Fauci says 20,000 pregnant women given COVID vaccine with no red flags. So that's the first one that I want to look at. But that's actually several. But the first one that we're going to look at here This guy, Michigan GOP leader claims Capitol riot was hoax in a video. Slamming Brandon says, I understand it, but it feels like pandering. And he also says that both parties can kick rocks. Said that on YouTube. Hey, how you doing, Slamming Brandon? By the way, listen, even if you don't necessarily agree with me, if you leave insightful comments, I will give you a wrench. So, as promised, you get a wrench. Everybody who leaves insightful comments and their calls and actually has a reasonable conversation, you get wrenches. You know, I want to encourage people to leave comments just like that, right? Like let's not just throw out random like insults. Let's actually talk about things. And even though I don't agree with what Brandon says here, I can appreciate at least he wants to leave some kind of insightful comment for me to actually respond to. And I can respect that. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for showing other people how you are supposed to leave comments. Right? Thank you. I really do appreciate that, man. Thank you. We're going to get into this story, though. So the Michigan GOP, mind you, Michigan. What else do we know about Michigan? Who's the governor of Michigan? Gretchen Whitmer. Same one, right? Same one that's been behind. Listen, Gretchen Whitmer is a horrific governor, but y'all making her look good. Gretchen Whitmer is a horrific governor, a terrible governor, but y'all making her look great. Because if I'm just keeping the buck, if I'm saying, okay, if I'm going off who looks crazy like right now, who looks like they're out of their fucking mind, it's the right now. Y'all making Gretchen Whitmer look great. I mean, and we're gonna get back into the whole AOC thing, right? Right? We're gonna definitely get back into the whole AOC thing, but I do hope that it's not lost on people how a lot of this stuff looks, man. I really hope that it's not lost on people. I pray to God that it's not lost on people, man. How a lot of this stuff looks. It looks fucking crazy, man. And I agree with you. By the way, Slamming Brandon, both parties can kick fucking rocks. Both parties ain't shit. Fuck Democrats, fuck Republicans. They're both shit. Fuck Democrats, fuck Republicans. They can both go to fucking hell. I agree with you on that one, Brandon. No questions asked. Absolutely. 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 So, we are about to get into this video here of the leader of the Michigan GOP pretty much calling the Capitol riot a hoax. Because, you know, people on the right, there's some people, right? It's not everybody. And even some people on the left do this every now and then, right? Right. He's claiming that the whole thing was a hoax. You know, or the whole thing of it was Antifa. You know, it was Antifa. It wasn't the Patriots. It could have been those good red-blooded Americans. I tell you what. You know, I'll tell you what. It could have been them. I tell you what. You know, not those good-blooded Americans. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
You know, it wasn't those good-blooded Americans. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
No. It couldn't have been. It was Antifa, okay? It was Antifa, all right? And if you don't believe so, you're a leotard. And probably Antifa yourself. Leotard. Let's go ahead and play the video.
But we begin with the Michigan Senate Majority Leader claiming on video that the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol was a hoax. The video of Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey was recorded by the Hillsdale County GOP in a diner the day before the group voted to censure him.
The group didn't think Shirkey was being tough enough on Governor Whitmer and was also unhappy that he was supporting an open carry ban of firearms inside the Michigan State Capitol. Mara McDonald live downtown. Mara, there's a lot of context needed here.
Well, Devin, for starters, this video that was recorded is a little over an hour long, and for the majority of it, you hear members of the Hillsdale GOP castigating Shirkey. Take a look. At about the 30-minute mark in the recording, after Shirkey has been told he shouldn't have supported a compromise that would ban open carry at the Capitol but still allow for concealed carry, and after he told the group that voter fraud was not a factor in Michigan's presidential outcomes, he's then asked about his thoughts on the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol.
What about the D.C. thing? I was there. So.
That wasn't Trump people.
That's what?
That wasn't Trump people.
Not at all.
That's been a hoax from day one. That was all prearranged.
This on the day the U.S. Senate saw the graphic video from body cameras of the police officers trying to protect the U.S. Capitol. Shirkey, for his part, after the tape made the rounds on YouTube, has issued this apology, which says, "I said some things in videoed conversation that are not fitting for the role I am privileged to serve.
Here comes the apology. The old politician apology. Mike Shirkey, here comes the statement. I said some things in a videoed conversation that are not fitting for the role I am privileged to serve. I own that. I have many flaws. Oh, God. My family. My job. I would never. I have a black friend. I have a gay friend. My friends are like a season of Power Rangers. My friends are the Planeteers because they are all diverse. I pick out my friends. I walk into Home Depot. I say, you, and you. I make sure I pick out the poorest looking minorities. They don't even speak English. I got one slave from Africa. His name is Ubuntu. I have one man from Mexico. His name is Jose. He hasn't taken a single break yet. Not one break. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
Not a single break here. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
You know? Unlike Ubuntu. Always with breaks with Ubuntu. I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
You know? Always breaks with him. You know? But I am not racist. Being passionate, coupled with an occasional lapse in restraint of tongue, are at least two of them. Michigan GOP leader claims Capitol riot was hoax in a video. Oh my God, this guy is just absolutely special.
Role I am privileged to serve. I own that. I have many flaws. Being passionate coupled with an occasional lapse in restraint of tongue are at least two of them. I regret the words I chose, and I apologize for my insensitive comments. Now, I had a one-on-one interview with the governor tonight on her upcoming budget presentation, and I asked her, A, had she heard about it, and what did she think about his remarks?
There was so much in there to react to, and I'm going to try to keep.
Wow. They're making this woman look absolutely fantastic. It's just so unfortunate, dude. I can't stand Gretchen Whitmer. And yet these boys are just making her look fantastic. It's a goddamn shame. God damn. Just if you want to make her look bad, right? You know, I'm just saying, you know.
It seems to me a strange thing.
If you want to make her look fucking bad, right? Right? It
seems to me a strange thing.
It's a strange thing, right? If your goal is to make her look bad, why do you want to make her look so good? Why do you want to make her gun control look so good? Why? Oh my God! Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? And this damn clown, Mike Shirkey, this damn clown, this dum-dum. It's this damn dum-dum, this special K motherfucker here.
It's been a hoax from day one. That was all prearranged.
This on the day the U.S. Senate saw the graphic video from body cameras of the police officers trying to protect the U.S. Capitol. Shirky, for his part, after the tape made the rounds on YouTube, has issued this apology, which says, I said some things in videoed conversation that are not fitting for the role I am privileged to serve. I own that. I have many flaws. Being passionate coupled with an occasional lapse in restraint of tongue are at least two of them. I regret the words I chose, and I apologize for my insensitive.
I regret the words that I chose, and I apologize for my insensitive comments. You know, it's just precious. And I just love how politicians speak. They don't even speak like me and you, right? Doesn't matter if they're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. It don't fucking matter. Progressive, left, right, center. It don't matter. They all sound the same. It's always whenever they're called, I'm imperfect. I make mistakes. But then anyone else says even one thing. You're a monster. Fuck you. You know, it's amazing how, you know, these people are the 12 disciples on one day. And the very, very next day, they the goddamn Romans, you know? One day they are one of the 12 disciples. The next day they fucking Romans. That's how it always turns out. I regret the words I chose and apologize for my insensitive comments. That's not really a fucking apology. I regret the words that I chose. Do you regret what you said, though? Do you regret what you said? Because, see, I could say, I fucking hate you, and I really, really don't like anything that you do, right? Or I could say, you know, I have an issue with you. I just don't see that it's gonna be it's gonna be reconcilable. I wish you well, and I wish you a good life. Those are two very different statements, but they both say "fuck you." You know, the long and short of it. So one is just more direct. The other is just beating around the goddamn bush and just trying to be nice. You know, they call it class. I call it fake. Say what the fuck you mean, right? I regret the words I chose. Is that actually a fucking apology? Right? Because if someone ever comes back up to him later, he can then say, well, I didn't apologize for what I said. I just apologized for the way that I said it. The words that I chose. The words that I chose. That's what I apologize for. I didn't apologize for anything. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
I didn't apologize for anything else. Now I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
You know, that is not what I did. Not me. Do you see how they can just weasel out of their own fucking words? Do you see how politicians operate now? You see how dirty, disgusting, just filthy these people are? Unbelievable, isn't it? Unfucking believable. Let's move on to another story here. It's just unbelievable. So this is another story here from Bloomberg. So Biden calls on the Burmese military to immediately release Aung San Suu Kyi. So there is a military coup that's going on right now in Burma and in Myanmar. So there's a bunch of crazy stuff that's going down, and people are mass downvoting the video because, once again, you remember, the right isn't the side of the trigger bitches, right? It's always the left. You know, it's not as if the freaking right has their own triggered people. Now, both sides have that, but every side pretends like the other is the worst of it, when the truth is both of you are right about equal. Just that one tends to be more worse than the other, depending on the election cycle. But let's get into this video here.
So today, I'm announcing a series of actions that we're taking to begin imposing consequences on the leaders of the coup. The U.S. government is taking steps to prevent the generals from improperly having access to the $1 billion in Burmese government funds held in the United States. And today, I've approved a new executive order, excuse me, a new executive order enabling us to immediately sanction the military leaders who directed the coup, their business interests, as well as close family members. We will identify at first round of targets this week, and we're also going to impose strong exports controls. We're freezing U.S. assets that benefit the Burmese government while maintaining our support for health care, civil society groups, and other areas that benefit the people of Burma directly. And finally, as protests grow, violence against those asserting their democratic rights is unacceptable, and we're going to keep calling it out. The people of Burma are making their voices heard, and the world is watching. We'll be ready to impose additional measures, and we'll continue to work with our international partners to urge other nations to join us in these efforts.
All right, so again, the U.S. officially, according to an executive order by Joe Biden himself, the U.S. has officially stepped in to help out with the military coup that's going on in Myanmar and also in Burma. The Burmese military there. There's a bunch of coups that's been attempted all over the world, man. Like, this is not just one place. There's a lot of wars that might be starting up, and I'm worried about that. No one's talking about that. No one's discussing that, but that is a serious concern that's been happening all over the world, and it's a big concern right here in America because we don't know where that's going, man. We don't know where that's going, and I'm not sure myself about where this is going. I'm a little worried. I'm a little bit shaky about this. All right, let's go back here. There's one last story that I saw right here. Fauci says 20,000 pregnant women given COVID vaccine with no red flags. That is a huge story. Huge story. Because if true, that is fantastic news. If true, that is fantastic news. So we kind of have to spread that around. Make sure that you get, some updated information. So I'm going to post it in YouTube chat now, and I'm going to post it in the Twitch chat as well. Make sure you guys follow that link and you watch the video. This is from Dr. Fauci himself. So again, this is from somebody who's on the ground, somebody who's actually got some power, somebody who is in charge. Like him or not, he is a doctor. He is not just some fake.
The next is the question.
All right, he's an actual doctor. This guy is not a fake. I kind of hated how people just jumped on this guy. It's so unfortunate. They tried to destroy this man because they didn't agree about what was going on with the virus. It's like, yeah, but if you look at his damn career, the man's not a fake doctor, dude. He's not a fake. Come on, man. I mean, shouldn't a man's body of work speak for him? His body of work is fucking impeccable, man. Come on now. Give the guy a shot. Give him a chance. Whatever you currently think about him that's negative, rethink that. Just consider for a second, this man was stuck between a rock and a hard place with a virus that honestly not many people besides myself and several others saw coming. But honestly, even myself could not have predicted the absolute devastation that would be caused. I couldn't see that coming. So give the man a chance. Now, I mean, predicting shit is like a specialty of myself and Sticks Hexhammer and several other people. If even we couldn't see some of the shit that was gonna freaking happen, give the man a chance, man. It's a tough place to be in. You're trying to predict trends in freaking vaccines, trends in viruses, trends in mutations. I don't want his job, and I guarantee you nobody watching this would either. So let's go ahead and watch and give this. Let's go ahead and watch what this man has to say and give him a fair shot, guys. Give him a fair shot.
The next is the question of the vaccination of children, namely pediatrics and pregnant women. As we all know, these were not included in the original clinical trials that led to the EUA for the 2 vaccines that are currently available. But I want to point out that since the EUA and under the EUA, approximately 20,000 pregnant women have been vaccinated with no red flags, as we say, And this is being monitored by the CDC and the FDA. So that's where we're going there. With regard to children and pregnant women, as I mentioned on a prior discussion with this group, the fact remains that we will be starting clinical trials, and some have already started. We will not need to do tens of thousands of people. We will need just enough, measured in hundreds to thousands, for safety and whether or not we induce an immune response that is equivalent to the immune response that has been proven to be protective under the trials that have now shown to be 94 to 95% effective.
All right. That's some great news. I think
the biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.
I think that is absolutely fantastic news. Don't you? Don't you think that's fantastic news? I mean, even if some people out there, and there's gonna be anti-vaxxers out there, and the one thing I would tell you is, please, let's not do that. Let's not go there. Okay. All right. Now, there's also another story that I'm seeing here now. Biden hails release of Saudi women's rights activist Lojan Al Hoflon, I want to say. That is a tough name. Try to say that 3 times very, very fast. That is a tough name to say. No offense if you're watching. I'm not trying to be insulting or anything, but man, that's a tough name. Oh my goodness. Whoo, that is a doozy. But again, people have different names, different cultures, different areas, different backgrounds. But man, that is a tough name. God damn. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a link in the Twitch chat, and here's one for the YouTube chat. So, all right. So once again, we're about to get into the story. Let's go ahead and just give Joe Biden a chance. And I understand that a lot of you don't like Joe Biden. Trust me, I have my own issues with him. In case you haven't watched my content before, but let's listen to what he has to say.
Before I begin, I have some welcome news that the Saudi government has released a prominent human rights activist, Lojan Al-Lowell, L-O-O-L, from prison. She was a powerful advocate for women's rights, and releasing her was the right thing to do.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe.
Oh man, I'm muted. Oh god, I'm such a fucking boomer. I know I'm such a fucking boomer, yo. This is a story, right? This is a story from Texas. It's a Texas attorney. He left his cat filter on, and this is during a court case. Oh, that is fucking hilarious, bro. That is hilarious. Oh my God, that is absolutely precious. So we're gonna watch that. We are gonna watch that. We're definitely gonna watch that. That's gonna be amazing. Let's go ahead and watch this real quick. I left a link in the Twitch chat and also in the YouTube chat. Hold on. Let me turn the desktop sound real quick.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a look.
trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this, Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in.
That is fucking hilarious. He's like, you see the eyes like, oh shit. Yo, listen, even in a virtual hearing, a judge can hold you in damn contempt and them cops gonna show up to your home. Yo, I bet he was shitting his pants like, oh, I'm about to go to jail. Oh shit. Because the judge could be like, oh, you think it's a goddamn joke, motherfucker? Think it's a joke? Tell you what. I tell you what. How about this? Bailiff, go over to his house right now. Pick his ass up. Don't you go anywhere. You go anywhere, I'm going to add more time to it. I've seen judges do that shit before, yo. Yo, this man had to be about to shit his pants, bro. That is scary as fuck, bro. Oh my God, that is so funny. That is so funny. Oh man. Okay, so this is a big story. You guys want to get some people over here to this channel now. So California Republicans right now, they are launching a series. Right now, they are on Gavin Newsom's ass right now. Yo, them boys are on Gavin Newsom's ass right now. The recall effort is serious, bro. They are on Gavin Newsom's ass right now, bro. Them boys ain't playing, man. Like, Gavin Newsom could seriously be fucking recalled, yo. It's like I'm not even kidding with you. That's not even me being fucking hyperbolic. It could actually fucking happen. It could actually happen, yo. Gavin Newsom could actually lose his job. Like, people ain't talking about this shit, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna give you a link to this right here because Gavin Newsom could actually lose his job. Like, there's enough people who don't like him. Whereas, listen, I'm telling you, there's enough people who don't fucking like him, man. There's a lot of people who don't like Gavin Newsom because of all the freaking taxation, all the lockdown stuff. I mean, even if you agree with all the lockdown like stuff, right? But all the other crazy stuff, yo, people do not like this man. And I'm telling you, it could be something serious. Yo, I'm telling you, like, this could be it, Gavin Newsom. You might want to start shaping up, man, before they ship your ass out. Let's go ahead and have a watch of this.
Republicans are gearing up to campaign against California Governor Gavin Newsom as an effort to recall the Democrat gains steam. This week, businessman John Cox became the latest to throw his hat in the ring. He ran unsuccessfully against Newsom in 2018. Cox says he plans to run either if the recall effort makes it to the ballot later this year or during the regularly scheduled election in 2022. The effort to recall Newsom started before the pandemic, but has gained momentum in recent months. In order to trigger a special election, the movement must collect nearly 1.5 million valid signatures by mid-March. On Sunday, organizers said they were 200,000 signatures away from that goal. It's gaining national attention. In a tweet earlier today, the White House press secretary said President Biden, quote, clearly opposes any effort to recall Governor Newsom. Sophia Bolag is a political reporter for the Sacramento Bee and joins us now. Sophia, welcome. This is the second time John Cox will run for governor against Gavin Newsom. He lost his bid in 2018. What does Cox plan to campaign on this time?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, and presenting himself as sort of
I kind of like that. Again, notice how his whole thing is, his whole platform is bashing Gavin Newsom, which that's what it should be. Bash him as often as possible. Again, this is an actual sensible fucking Republican. I may not agree with everything on his platform, of course not. But the thing is, though, is that he's at least taking a strategy that I can see working, in that he's attacking just Gavin Newsom. He's not worrying about silly ass, election fraud, conspiracy, all that shit. He's not worrying about any of that. He's worrying strictly about Gavin Newsom. And he's attacking Gavin Newsom. And you gotta say he's already off to a great start. Because again, if you say Gavin Newsom is a piece of shit who doesn't care about his own people, I mean, where's the goddamn lie? Where's the lie? I mean, if you said Gavin Newsom is a piece of shit who doesn't who doesn't care about his own people, where's the lie? It is very easy to get behind this man. It doesn't matter if you agree with him. I'm pretty sure he pushes some anti-mask stuff at some point. I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure that he pushes some right-wing stuff. I'm pretty sure. But even if he does, he's still not as bad as fucking Gavin Newsom. Listen, I am BLM to the core. I am anti-police to the core. I agree with a lot of things the left says, but, when it comes to Gavin Newsom, I'm sorry. That's where we part fucking ways, yo. Fuck Gavin Newsom, yo. Listen, I've never seen I've seen several governors across the country do this shit. How you going to increase taxes when people are losing their damn jobs? How you going to increase taxes when niggas losing their jobs? Like, make it make sense. That shit makes no fucking sense at all. Like, he's sitting there raising taxes when people losing their jobs. Like, do you understand how taxation works? I mean, some people might call taxation goddamn theft, right? But do you understand that people are losing their jobs and you raising taxes? Gavin, you are practically campaigning against yourself at this point. You making it easy on this man. You making it easy on this man. Like, you ain't even fucking trying, you piece of shit. Like, you are obviously corrupt. Like Gavin Newsom, it
seems to me a strange thing.
It's just a strange fucking thing. How can you be such ass when you a Democrat in damn California? How the hell can you swing popular opinion in your direction when you a fucking Democrat in California? How are you that shitty? How are you that shitty? In quite possibly the most left-leaning state in the whole country, you can make an argument for that. You can certainly make an argument for that, right? You still can't be popular as a fucking Democrat? Like, goddamn, like... That's like Donald Trump going and running in Georgia right now and still not be liked in damn Georgia. That's how you know it's over for fucking him, right? Or he goes over somewhere like Alabama or like Kentucky or Mississippi, deep red states, and he can't become governor there, right? Like Gavin, you're not just ass. Mathematically speaking, it's hard for anyone to defend you because they would have to then demonstrate mathematically how I'm wrong about you. How the fuck are you a damn Democrat in California and still can't be popular because you're that shitty? Oh my God, you are making his job easy as fuck. I mean, at this point, if John Cox doesn't become governor at some point, John Cox should just leave damn politics, because at this point, I am damn sure ISIS could run against goddamn Gavin Newsom and win. Shit. At least with ISIS, you get cool weapons and shit. I mean, with Gavin Newsom, his fucking gun control, you don't even get that shit. So fuck it. So Gavin Newsom is making John Cox's job mighty easy. John Cox just sees the opportunity, brother. Like, you just don't have to try very hard. Just don't say shit. Just respond specifically to Gavin Newsom. People hate him so much that whenever he speaks, so long as you respond, your approval rating is gonna fucking skyrocket every goddamn time, because Gavin Newsom is that much of a goddamn shithead. That's bad. It is bad in the year 2021. When you are a Democrat, right, and you can't be popular in fucking California, that is fucking exceptionally bad. Like, that's like if bad were a fucking Olympic event, you would gold every goddamn time. Like, you fucking on the podium every goddamn time. Like, that's horrific. Like, whoever your campaign advisor is, fire his ass yesterday. He, she, or they, them, or whatever gender identity, I don't give a shit. Fire their ass yesterday. Oh my God, they suck at their fucking job, much like you do, Gavin fucking Newsom. I mean, you even amongst corrupt politicians, you are exceptionally fucking shitty. You suck at being corrupt. Damn. Oh my God, God damn.
The latest to throw his hat in the ring. He ran unsuccessfully against Newsom in 2018. Cox says he plans to run either if the recall effort makes it to the ballot later this year or during the regularly scheduled election in 2022. The effort to recall Newsom started before the pandemic, but has gained momentum in recent months. In order to trigger a special election, the movement must collect nearly 1.5 million valid signatures by mid-March. On Sunday, organizers said they were 200,000 signatures away from that goal. It's gaining national attention. In a tweet earlier today, the White House press secretary said President Biden, quote, clearly opposes any effort to recall.
Wow. So they need just 200,000 signatures when they needed shortly a little bit over 1 million. Wow. They got that quickly? Do you understand what I mean now? There's so many people in that state who fucking can't stand Gavin Newsom. People who are on the left, because let me inform you of something. Some people on the right have this have this perception, right? That people on the left don't own businesses. They do. And if you own a business, would you like Gavin Newsom? I wouldn't. Gavin Newsom ain't shit. Gavin Newsom, as people are losing their jobs, is raising fucking taxes. It was so bad that I'm reading the article on yesterday in LA. They are defaulting on debts. So let's say that you're a private contractor, right, who did some work for the Los Angeles government, right? Right. Well, what's happening now is that they are defaulting on their fucking debts. They are actively doing that. The fucking LA treasurer even announced it in like news articles. This fucker announced that in news articles. Like, he's asking departments, if you don't have to pay something, then avoid paying it because we have a budget shortfall because of what happened with COVID. It's like, you are defaulting on shit, and yet you are raising taxes. You are robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, this is not even a case of robbing Peter to pay goddamn Paul. It's a case of robbing Peter to pay Paul if you're fucking Thanos, which is Gavin Newsom. Because Peter and Paul are just two fucking citizens. Thanos is the head nigga in goddamn charge. You know, the HNIC. The head nigga in goddamn charge. And this whole shit with fucking Gavin Newsom is a gigantic nigga moment. All right, I mean, again, I want to show you some shit, right? I'm gonna clip this out into a whole independent video, right? But before we get into this, I want to tell you something real quick. Before we get into this whole article, you are going to experience a nigga moment. LA County is defaulting on fucking debts right now. Okay, that's not even me being hyperbolic. Default on debts. Let's see. There was a news article I was reading from yesterday. LA County defaulting on debts. California. Let me see. I know I just read from a news article yesterday. Let me see. Let me try to change the search parameters, because if you can't find something right, you always want to try to change the search parameters. Let's see what happens in the past. So I just read that. Yeah, they're even it's getting crazy. They're limiting new vaccinations and everything. I mean, it's they are defaulting on their fucking. Where is it? Because I know I just saw it yesterday. It's probably on Fox News. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Fox News. I know I saw that article yesterday. I'm going to look up my history. Because I know I saw that article on yesterday. I'm going to just look through it. Let's see. Biden. Well, I know I read that article yesterday. I know I read that article yesterday. And yeah, I bought some Magic the Gathering stuff. So let's see. Where I read that article yesterday. I know I did. Where is it? Cause I was like, yo, I was taken aback by that. I was like, what? Yes, that's another video we have to see. So where is it? Cause I know I was reading that article, and that about blew my head off. I almost passed out. I was like, what am I reading? Let's see. I'm trying to look it up again. California. Defaults on debts. See, so let me try to see. Anytime results past week. I don't want to spend too much time into this. If I can't find it, but I know I read it. I'm just gonna clip it. But I know I read it. Now I tell you what I'll do while we're sitting here waiting. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the full screen here. You guys can ask me questions while I look for that, because I want to show you guys that. I really want to show you guys that. There's just no question about it. I have to show you that. But tell me, what do you guys think about the news that covered the news stories that we covered like so far? How do you like this format where it's like I pretty much go over the article and I kind of give you my take on it? How do you like it? Do you like this more? Do you like this less? Tell me more about what you think, because I want to make content that not only makes me happy but makes you guys happy as well. I get that some people seem to confuse the two, that it's just supposed to be content that they like and screw whatever I think, and it's like it's not how that works. It's not how that works. I like to be able to say things too, and be able to have fun with the content that I like as well, because my thing is that I enjoy, making content that not only can I be proud of, but things that I find interesting. I don't want to just read content. I don't want to just I don't want to just do stories that that makes people comfortable or happy. I want to take on those stories that make you uncomfortable. Those stories that, quite honestly, starts the conversation. Even if the conversation is one that you would rather not have. Even if it's a conversation that you'd rather me shut up about. Right? I would just rather give you the news, but I also want to give you a show. Not just give you news, but also give you a show, something that you can sink your teeth into, And so, if there's other news stories, other news sources that you would rather, see and hear from. If you want me to go to MSNBC, let me know. If you want to go to CNN, let me know. If you want me to go to certain types of news sources that are overseas, if it's a language that you can at least translate for me, or you think it can be translated, just let me know. I want to try different ideas, different things that I think is valuable as content. Once again, I want to be able to give people a variety of content. And you notice that I've been doing several different types of content with different people. I've been doing Bad Cop No Donut. I've been doing Decrypted Files. I've been doing several different types of shows. I've been doing show after show after show after show. And I just want people to question where they get their news. Right? I want people to question where they get their news. Even if it's from someone that's like me, I want you to question it. I want you to question everything. Don't just take things.
The FBI investigating after a hacker broke into the.
Don't just take things as the gospel truth because someone with a nice setup and a nice screen tells you so. All right. Now I know this talk may seem boring, but again, I'm gonna clip this out. So if you want this content separated, let me know. I'll give it to you in separate clips. Some people like it when I take a subject and I just kind of like ramble on with it, or I just kind of like go into it because I kind of say exactly what they're thinking, but they kind of like the way I use a lot of comparisons, a lot of like metaphors, and I even quote my grandma a lot because my grandma was a very, very smart lady, man. And she only had an 8th grade education. But let me tell you something, those older people, man, they've seen seen everything. They've seen it all. You can't show them nothing new. So that's why I use a lot of my grandma's wisdom, even though we don't share religious beliefs. She was a hardcore Christian and I'm a pagan. So but that doesn't mean that I can't learn from her and that I can't take lessons from her because she was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Didn't have an education past the 8th grade. Came from the civil rights era. She was a person who saw the sign that says, coloreds and whites. She grew up like that. And it shaped a lot of what she thought of the world. She didn't hate white people. Because I think what she saw was that, she didn't want people to feed off of her own hatred or her own feelings. So I could never muster the kind of courage and the kind of forgiveness that she has shown throughout her life. And I'm working to be more like her. I really am. But I'm going to give you another story, guys. Let's go ahead and get to that. I know that was a long monologue. I know that you guys like, oh my gosh, Devil, don't give us a life story. Give us the news. All right, I hear you. But I just want you guys to hear that too. Sometimes I wanna give you a okay. You try to call it. Okay, all right. Let me go ahead and try to get you on the line here. My bad. All right. So I'm gonna call you back.
Hey, what up?
All right. How you doing? I'm Devil's Advocate. Welcome to the Pitchfork Podcast. You're live on the air. What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing too much, man. I just wanted to call and thank you for the wrench.
Right. Well, I again, the one thing that I like is that even if I don't necessarily agree with everything that you have to say, just fucking say it and just say it like reasonably, right? Like you get some people who just call and be like, hey, can you jack off on damn camera? It's like, what? Like that?
Yeah, no.
Like you get
no,
people yeah, it's just fucking weird,
Yeah, no. I saw that episode last night with you. You were talking about how you support BLM and all that,
right.
And I would have called in if I would have known about that stuff. Now, see, I don't have a problem with the whole support of BLM. The problem that I do have, though, is that when you were talking about it, and I'm going to keep this real, dude, is that you obviously said, well, of course all lives matter. So if all lives matter, then why do you have to separate BLM from all lives matter?
Well, let me ask you a question. If and again, you know what, I'm gonna be fair. I always tell people to not answer a question with a question. So I'm gonna give you a direct answer because you asked me a direct question, and I'm gonna give you that respect. So the reason why I say Black Lives Matter is because I've also said all lives matter. There's actually a picture on my Facebook of me wearing an All Lives Matter shirt. I support all of it. Again, I think that some people think that if you support one movement, you can't support all of them, and that's simply not true. Two things can be true at once, because no one's ever asked me if I ever supported All Lives Matter. They just assume that I would hate it because I said Black Lives Matter.
No, I don't disagree with you on that.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that the problem with our society today is that we do separate.
No, I think that the problem with our society is that we separate and we don't justify it, right? Like, for example, I don't have a problem with Native Americans having reservations. I don't have a problem with white people saying, hey, we want to have our own freaking neighborhood. I don't think that black people should be stopped from moving in there. But if you have a bunch of white people who just move out into they buy like let's say you got a group of white people who buy like 20 acres and they just say, okay, we're only gonna have white people here. That's your right. I can't stop that. I mean, that's your right. But where we get into a problem is that when you get people who are trying to impose segregation to try to hurt people, right? If you want to go off and do your own thing, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with a group of white supremacists who exist who just want to be white supremacists, but it's just when they take it to action, right? So I don't have an issue with the group existing. I have an issue with your body of work. Does that make any sense?
No, well, yeah, it does make sense, but see, that's the problem that I also have with BLM, though. I appreciate the sentiment of it because it's facts, but I don't think the movement is good for the people.
So
you know where I'm getting at on that?
You see. Okay, so when you say it's not good for the people, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I don't think that if you look at their manifesto, basically, like if you go to Black Lives Matter movement.com, it tells you that they want to get rid of the nuclear family. They want to do all these other things like that, stuff that would help the black community.
You know what? I'm not going to say that you're wrong because
I'm not trying to be. No. I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all.
You are 100% right though, because I actually made a video about that years and years ago. I actually debated Alicia Garza on Twitter, And Alicia Garza is one of the 3 black feminists who started BLM. And they started shortly after what happened to Trayvon Martin. But I want you to understand something, right? What happened to the alt-right? Well, let me give you a brief breakdown as to what happened there. And it kind of explains what happened to BLM. Is that when Colin Kaepernick first took his knee, I put out a statement. I was criticizing Colin Kaepernick for some of his positions based on the NFL's viewership. But I never said that Colin Kaepernick should have lost his job. I was more right-leaning then. I was actually a 2016 Trump voter, okay? But I also put out a statement saying this man should not lose his job because the second that you do that, you give him what he wants. He wants to be a martyr. That's what he wanted. And so fast forward, we saw what happened there. Now, you might be asking, why did I bring that up? The reason why I brought that up is because it's the exact same tactics that BLM takes. Whenever you try to shut them down, you try to censor them, you try to shut them up, which many people have forgotten police tried to do, court tried to do, politicians tried to fucking do. Donald Trump seriously at one point suggested adding BLM to the fucking terrorist watch list. So when you have that kind of reaction to people for a group named Black Lives Matter, do you understand the perception of that? Is that the amount of resistance that BLM gets doesn't seem to match what they do. By the way, I want to make a quick note. Thank you, Pepperoni Audits, for being in the chat. Hello, love you. But go ahead and respond to what I said. You can disagree. I get it.
No, I agree. I mean, well, like I said in the chat, both parties suck. So.
Right. I'll give you something else. I'll give you something else to think about. Right. So BLM was formed in, I think it was June or July in 2013. So you remember Chaz or Chop or whatever in Seattle?
Yeah, up in Seattle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So back in 2010, 35 community organizations sent a letter to the Department of Justice, and the Department of Justice responded because apparently the Seattle Police Department is one of the worst in the whole nation. Now, I'm going to demonstrate that to you in under a minute or two. So basically, they were placed under a federal consent decree because they had so many racial incidents to the point where there was court documents where the federal judges quite literally called the Seattle Police Department one of the most racist police departments in the entire country. To be placed under a federal consent decree is mathematically significant because there's about it's a little bit over 19,000 cities total in the United States, and Seattle is one of only 20 that's under a federal consent decree. So that is mathematically significant, meaning they're not just bad, they're exceptionally fucking bad. So when the cops are behaving like that and they have not been in compliance with the consent decree for more than a goddamn decade, and most recently they've had 6 police officers go down to the U.S. Capitol, 5 of which were confirmed to be on the inside of the Capitol rioting and shit. You can begin to see why Chaz happened, right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
But you also realize, I mean, the only concern that I do have, because there's obvious racism, and that's we can't throw that under the pillow or anything like that. I just feel like it's being used way too much, just like fascism or anything like that. Like if you don't have the beliefs of somebody else that has certain convictions, then it's meaningless.
Right. I will say that people are called racist way too often. I will say that, but let me explain to you the reason why. I want to tell you, when
I'm mixed race myself, so it's I'm white and Latino.
Right.
So
back in the day, though, I used to put out these videos. Now I put out some edgy ass content, man, and no one said anything. But the second that I said BLM, did you notice a difference in the response? The attacks. The second that I said it. So black folk in my community, we have a saying: keep the same energy. And the energy difference has been so extreme, right? So extreme that it's hard to imagine that when people go against BLM, a lot of times, I'm not saying every time, because even I have criticized BLM before, and I'm pro BLM. I've criticized them before because I criticize any movement that I join. I fucking criticize them because I want to keep them honest. And I still criticize them this very day because there's some shit on that BLM website that you're right. For example, when the whole movement is based primarily off of what's happening to black men, and yet they made it all about women. I totally get that. Trust me, I know it's the same shit that you've seen. When you go to the freaking website, it's not history, it's her story, right? They've made it ultra feminist. I get it. Trust me, I am not fucking blind. I can see it too, but there's no way you're telling me that, at least with some people, when they're arguing against BLM, right, with some of the things that they say. Because again, if you want to argue against BLM, the organization, you don't have to then turn around, right, and attack black people to do that. You can say, hey, I don't like the Marxism. I don't like how they erase men. I don't like some of the gender fucking politics. But then when people start coming in and saying, well, you are 13% of the population, but okay, now you're attacking a whole race of people instead of a damn organization. And then you wonder why black people become immediately defensive, right? Because
hell yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Right. But look, again, that's why some of the claims racism happens, is because it's not even what you say, it's what you put your energy into. Right. It's again, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago on YouTube, right? There was a conversation about race realism, right? And about a white ethno state, and about potentially removing black people from the country. That was the conversation on fucking YouTube. It was the main conversation. That's what everybody was then talking about. It was fucking insane. And my thing is that people who were having those conversations are now complaining, like, not you, but people like Andy Worski, Aiden Paladin, Sargon of Akkad, many other content creators who were not so much pushing it, but push race realism or push a white ethno state and all that shit, right? And now they're sitting here bitching about how people are calling people racist en masse. It's not even, necessarily what you said. It's who you hang around, right? Because I totally get where you're coming from. Because
I hate to be,
and it's not fucking fair. Like not everybody should be painted with the same fucking brush. I get that. I know people who legitimately have issues with BLM based on the communist shit. There are some members of BLM who are absolutely fucking communists. And if you've seen any of my damn content, I'm not exactly fans of communists. So I get it.
And that's me, and that's me. It's like that's where I'm like, yeah, it's great, to support BLM and all that stuff, but I just don't support the movement. You know what I mean? Right. Like you have to draw that line.
Right. I think that because some people think that you wear a bumper sticker that you support everything from the fucking bumper sticker. I don't think that the average person who has the freaking donkey symbol from the freaking Democrats actually likes Nancy Pelosi. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. I think
my whole thing, and I have this running joke that I always say, and it's like with the Democrats, and then like their logo matches what they are. They're a bunch of fucking jackasses.
So, I guess the whole donkey is supposed to represent like hard work. It's what they were first the party of the working class. Apparently that's kind of what happened. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna probably either make you not like me or make you think a little bit harder. I want you to.
I'm texting, dude. I got tough skin, dude.
All right, so I'm gonna give you something to think about. When you think of Donald Trump, I want you to look up a guy named Pitchfork Pitchfork Tillman, or Ben Tillman.
Okay.
And I want you to read the backstory of Pitchfork Tillman. In fact, I'm gonna look it up real quick for you. I want you to read about his freaking militia. I want you to read about all the crazy stuff that Pitchfork was involved with, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna make you think about a president. I'm not gonna tell you who. It's gonna make you think about a president. It's gonna remind you of somebody. And I want you to come back to me, man. I want you to call in on like a subsequent show, and I want you to tell me what you thought of that. So I'm just giving you that to you because I want you to see some things.
Kilman.
Yeah. So I'm posting a link in the live chat there. So it should be in the live chat now.
All right. I don't have. Well, I'll go back to the live chat, but I took it off because of the echo.
Well, I will show it on screen for you, man. I'll show it on screen for you, so that whenever you get back to it. So Benjamin Tillman, right? I'm just gonna read a few lines to you, and I'm gonna see if it's gonna remind you of something now. Was an American politician of the Democratic Party who served as governor of South Carolina from 1890 to 1894 and as a United States senator from 1895 until his death in 1918. A white supremacist who opposed civil rights for black Americans, Tillman led a paramilitary group of red shirts during South Carolina's violent 1876 election. On the floor of the U.S. Senate, he defended lynching and frequently ridiculed black Americans in his speeches, boasting of having helped kill them during that campaign. Now, he represented people from the South, who were, a lot of them were farmers. He had a very public, messy divorce. He was states' rights. He was a Democrat for most of his life. He was also a overweight.
Hold on. Yeah, but, well, okay, yeah. But
he was an overweight rich guy who inherited his fucking money. In fact,
no, I'm not saying I'm not a Trump supporter.
Right. But I'm not doing that for that reason. But I just want you to see like some of the things that I see, right? So notice that the reason why they call him Pitchfork, right, is because he actually it was President Grover Cleveland. He threatened to prod him like a bag of beef.
Well, yeah, we can go with the he was elected and he got impeached or whatever, something like that, and then he ended up losing the presidency, and then he came to be president again. No, I'm a history buff, but I also have to tell you though, you have to realize this though. The parties never switched.
Right. I would say they definitely.
No. There was only two members. There was Strom Thurmond and Watson. I think in the House.
Ooh, there was more than that. Oh God.
No. If you look, dude, I'm a history buff, dude. I know this shit. Like there was only two. It was Thurmond and fucking Watson.
Well, there were definitely more because I remember when I was doing a video about Operation Lost Trust, and that was like one of the biggest FBI stings ever, and it happened in South Carolina. And I remember I was using a clip from I tell you what, I'm gonna give you that clip, man, because it's an old clip. Not many people have actually seen it, and somebody from a South Carolina museum actually emailed me and asked me could they actually get a link to that clip. I didn't realize.
Well, I mean, we can even go further back, like even after Lincoln freed the slaves and stuff like that. Like we're the first, I think, what was it, 18 or 19 members of the Republican Party. Even though I don't support them, we're all African American. I don't even like to say African American, but they're American.
Right.
Because color doesn't mean shit to me.
Right. I get it. But here's the thing. The question that I want to ask, right, is that when it comes to those types of scenarios, right, when you look at history, like pretty much shows us, what do you think now about Trump? What do you think the party is going now? Do you think that the Republican Party is gonna basically become the party of the old Dixiecrats? Are they gonna finally make that transition? Because I'm seeing there's not a whole lot of Confederate flags at the freaking DNC. I just don't see it. I see a lot of it at the freaking RNC.
All right, so basically what I see, with the Republican Party is they're done. What do they actually do?
Well, here's the thing. I think that.
I mean, like, what? I mean, what do they really do? I think
I don't know.
Like,
I think that the fact that they stood against a stimulus at any point, that was kind of a sign, man. That was kind of a sign. Like, that was bad. Like, what the fuck happened? I don't know how they thought that was going to end.
The problem. Okay, so like the Republicans don't do a fucking thing. Period. All right. The Democrats just keep trying to push shit that nobody fucking wants, other than their fan base, basically. I just think that people are going to start waking up and just realizing that both parties suck, and they just, I don't know what else to say. I think you're just going to have a lot of people going like, why the hell am I voting for this? Why the hell am I voting for that? And then we're going to have a lot of people going, yeah, I have the right to vote. I'm not going to fucking vote because I don't like any of them.
Well, do you think that we're going to finally get a serious third party?
I mean, being the libertarian that I am, and I know you already
I want
talked on that
party somewhere, man. I want one so bad. Please say yes. I want one so bad.
I mean, like Eric July is my dude. So like, I mean, you know who Eric July is, right? Young Ripper.
I like Joe Jurgensen. She just couldn't get her freaking name out there. She was.
I don't know. Like for me, like I want Ron Paul. That's what I want.
Thank God. Listen, if the fucking Republican Party, right? Ron Paul. Do you realize?
I don't care how old he is. I don't care how old that old man is. I don't care. I just
they actually attacked this man. He was the only Republican who was going against the fucking Iraq war, and they attacked this man. They made him sound like a goddamn communist. It was bullshit.
And he's not even a Republican. He just has to fucking use that goddamn
But they
sentiment
this man
of
for that though.
He told
the goddamn truth.
He's like, well, I got to run as a Republican, even though I'm not a Republican. Just to get the goddamn vote. I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm libertarian through and through, and I just can't wait, for Texas to get the fuck out of this goddamn country. I'm ready for that succession.
So, are you tired of these freaking Californians just moving to freaking Texas yet?
Yeah, but we tell them. Well, there's a meme where it's a famous meme where there's a person from California and they're carrying like one of those like roll suitcases type thing like you use like when you're going to an airport, getting ready to go on a plane.
Right.
And on the suitcase it says liberal policies, and then there's a guy at the border going, hold on, you can just keep that.
you know what I would like to see in Texas, kind of like take over like a more libertarian type of like street, because I've noticed that like basically I don't like this whole left right dichotomy anyways. I don't either. My ideal country is every substance is fucking legal, but you gotta be a fucking adult at the age of fucking majority. No wars unless it's absolutely got the necessary. Minimal taxation. Guns for everybody. In fact, in some scenarios, the government will buy you a goddamn gun. I like that shit.
No, I know, but see, and that's and a lot of people disagree with me on this fact about like gun rights and shit. And I'm just like, dude, if everybody fucking carried a gun, you wouldn't have a problem, because they'd be like, oh, that dude's got a gun, so I'm not going to rob him.
And I guarantee
because I might have. Yeah, they're like, I might get shot if I try to rob this dude.
Well, not just that. And I don't know if I should say this, but I think that would also take care of your police brutality problem. Because if everybody's got guns in the whole neighborhood and the cops know that, and they know that you put a knee on somebody's neck and you might get fucking shot for it.
My floor mat, like outside my door, it says "Come back with a warrant."
And even then, I might not let your ass in. Fuck that warrant. It's a piece of goddamn paper. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Now that you've actually talked to me, right? Do you think that my
Mm-hmm.
problem with cops is more to do with them being cops, or do you think that I just hate it's just anybody who works for the goddamn government?
Well, okay, probably mostly government.
Yeah, that's pretty much. People have totally missed that.
Well, because just for the fact that it's really hypocritical for people to like be defund the police, but yet they call the police when they need help.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really call them. Every time that I call.
No,
them,
I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying I'm not putting you in a corner. I'm just saying this.
Oh no, man! I wasn't taking no freaking offense to it because this whole conversation has been fucking civil as shit. It's been probably one of the most civil conversations I think I've had in a long time, and it's kind of like refreshing actually because we obviously are not going to agree on some issues, but I can still see overall where you're coming from, and that's the point that I want to reach. Just to be able to see.
And that's what we need to do.
Yeah,
even though we can disagree with shit, we can still get along. Just because you have your certain, whatever, doesn't mean it's just stupid. It's just stupid. We're fucking up as a society by just disagreeing with everything that somebody else has to say. If you're fucking cool and you're respectful, then that's cool. I'm like my libertarian capitalist self. But yet I'm friends with a guy that used to be Antifa or whatever. But he's like an anarcho liberal or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know about all this anarcho. I think people just go ahead and just say you're a damn anarchist. Don't add anarcho technocrat.
Yeah,
shut your
but
ass up.
he hates capitalism. I said, well then he was like he has like a t-shirt company, and I was like, well, cool. He's like, I'll make your t-shirts. And I was like, cool, then I'll just keep all the money since you hate fucking capitalism.
Yeah. I have friends. Listen, I move around the parts of like Washington State, right? And I go to like Nevada sometimes because again, I can just do whatever the fuck I want to do. So I have multiple spots, but I go to like Seattle, right? Let me tell you. There's a bunch of kids like that in Portland is like Antifa central. Like you're not gonna find more Antifa. Okay, maybe you go to like maybe New Jersey and like some parts of California, but Portland is like Antifa central. You're just not gonna find.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. The only thing good at it.
I actually go through there, right? I go through there, and they talk about capitalism sucks and everything else, and yet all of them own businesses. They all make money. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know it's ignorance at its finest. Ignorance is bliss. So,
and it's like they
I don't know.
They will sit there and they'll get mad at me, right? They're like, you were supposed to be on like on freaking like our side, and it's like, no, I'm not. If you're doing something fucking stupid, I'm gonna tell you that's fucking stupid, and sitting here calling yourself a goddamn communist, but you own a fucking shop where you're making all this money and you're charging people the government taxes and shit, which is highly uncommunistic.
Oh, and you being a black man, you're probably a fascist. We're calling them out on that.
No, so. It's not so much that. It's not so much that, right? Is that they will try, to try to paint you as this far right fucking extremist and so.
Oh, I know.
Let me give you a nice defense against that, right?
Well, no, it's the multicultural white supremacy.
Let me give you a perfect defense against that. Let me give you the perfect defense against that. What all you gotta do right now is go over to Google, type in Malcolm X right wing quotes, just print them out and carry them.
Oh no! Oh, dude! I know all about that shit. Yeah,
trust me. If you heard some of the shit that MLK and Malcolm X believe, you would call them fucking Nazis by today's standards. So, trust me.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah!
I remember there's actually one story,
even Thomas Sowell.
Thomas Sowell, he was always kind of right though. Let's be honest. He's always been kind of, he was never really left. He was not there. But again, I still listen to some of the things that he says because he's actually good with fucking money. Now maybe I don't agree with some of his social opinions, but the motherfucker still knows money. So that's that. You can't take that away from him. Like I would love to have him as a fucking accountant because he would balance all my damn debts. Absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's
But
true.
but there's actually something funny though. I remember what was that video I was watching? But it was we were talking about Thomas Sowell. What's that other name?
Yeah, I mispronounced his last name. I apologize for that.
No, who's the other guy that I just mentioned though? I can't remember who it was.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, yeah, Malcolm X and MLK. So there was a funny story because Martin Luther King used to be a guest columnist. He used to like write articles and stuff. He used to write like columns for fucking CNN, like way back in the day. And a young man who was gay sent in a question. Basically, he kind of explained it in kind of a cutesy way too. He was like, I like boys in the way that you like girls. Like basically he was kind of saying that he was gay, but kind of saying it more like a cutesy way to kind of like try to disarm people, right? So Martin Luther King basically responded with, well, you have an unnatural lifestyle and everything. He was saying all the right wing shit. And it's like, I wonder how come no one brings that shit up. You know?
Well, Martin Luther King was right leaning.
Yeah, I remember I mentioned that like one time, right? Because again, I'm not criticizing MLK. I think he was one of the greatest leaders of all fucking time. But it's like we have to also, not be so harsh on people, because if you're gonna be harsh on people by today's standards, you would also have to call MLK a goddamn bigot. And I just don't think we are prepared to fucking do that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I am giving you a fucking weapon that works. They can't come back from that. Once you mention Malcolm X or MLK, they shut the fuck up every goddamn time. Trust me. I'm giving you a weapon. Now what you want to bring up is that story, and then asking the question, do you think a Southern Baptist preacher was pro gay rights back in the fucking 60s?
Hell no. Hell no. I don't know. I mean,
it took Barack Obama all the way up to 2008. The first black president, 2008.
And I noticed how you were saying you're not a Christian man, you're pagan and stuff like that. Like, I'm anti-theist. People always ask me about that. And they're like, well, what the hell does that mean? I go, well, it's like, why don't you just say you're atheist? I said, well, atheist is the belief that you don't believe. I don't fucking believe, period. I don't have the belief.
Right.
Like, it's like, so I'm fucking anti-theist. Like, I don't believe in that shit whatsoever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Again, I don't care what somebody else believes or doesn't fucking believe, because I am a libertarian. The only time that I get an issue is when people try to force it on you. Otherwise, I don't.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, like the dude that bought my house and shit like that. Like, he was a Mormon, and I started going off on him because I was like, there's a reason behind why I'm fucking, I don't believe. It's because I study this shit.
Mormonism.
And so, I would tell him about some stuff, and he was like, I'm surprised how much you know about all this. And I'm like, yeah, because it's fucking bullshit. The dude was a fucking charlatan.
Yeah, like, listen. Mormonism will make you a damn atheist.
Oh, I know, yeah. I mean, like my girlfriend, man. Like, my girlfriend, she's from Utah, and hold on. Well, actually, hold on. No, I misspoke on that one. She's from San Antonio, but her and her family moved to Utah.
Oh, why would you move there?
Yeah, for work. I know, like,
no, you better off homeless.
No, well, I was homeless actually for a little bit.
Man. I didn't mean that.
No worries, dude. I got my shit together, and that's why I'm calling you now. So, like, I mean, apparently I got my shit together.
Right.
No, they moved there, and then I was always talking to them about that stuff, and they're like, "Oh, this is play," because my girlfriend's black, so
right,
and yeah, and I would just always talk about this, and they're like, "Stop, Brandon, stop." Like, well, they're not Mormon, but they would, because even in Utah, even if you're black, you're not accepted. Like, you can't. there's a weird thing where they have. She was telling me about this, where like it was only acceptable to have interracial couples. I think back like 2014.
Yeah. You know, something really, really funny, right? So you know, it's not just like Utah. You should look at Oregon, right? Did you know that black people were not allowed to live in Oregon until like the fucking 50s?
Is that where you're based out of?
Well, no, I'm all over the place, man. I'm actually.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna say. I know you probably don't want to.
No. I'll tell you. Like, I'm actually doing a bucket list thing, right? I actually go from state to state, and I'm documenting something. I'm making a freaking documentary, but I'm still doing my show because I have multiple spots. But like my whole thing
right
was
on,
to travel.
Dude.
It was I actually traveled to 48 states in 6 months. I went by Utah. That place is a goddamn shithole. But whatever. You know what's actually funny? One of the reasons why you have so many Antifa in like Oregon is that it's like white guilt, like the hardcore like white guilt, because black people were not allowed to fucking live there until the goddamn 50s. So it's like they're calling everybody else racist, but I guarantee you that place is white as shit. I drove through there.
You know,
right?
and I don't get that shit, man, because you know, like I said, I'm mixed race. I'm mixed race, like, you know, I'm Latino and fucking white and shit, but I'm mainly white. I look like fucking, what's that UFC fucking, that Irish motherfucker?
Conor McGregor?
Yeah, like, I'm in, like, red hair and all that stuff. But
no,
people,
you're a
like,
ginger? Oh, no.
No, Auburn. I'm not a ginger.
Just kidding,
Auburn,
I'm just kidding.
I got dark red hair.
Yeah, I don't have a thing against the gingers. I just had
I'm
broken
not
by a ginger one time.
I ain't no goddamn ginger. Let's put it that way. But no, but like I came out mostly Irish. You know, let's just put it that way.
Right,
and yeah, no, and it's just funny, like, because I can speak Spanish as well and stuff like that, and there's people always like freak out because I'm like white, and I'm like, I understand what you know, like being down here, like I live in San Antonio, Texas,
right,
and yeah, and you know, and it freaks Mexicans out.
Oh man!
And they're like, "Oh, what the hell?" It's kind of like going to like the nail salon, and you have those Korean women, and then they're always speaking their language, and they're just talking shit about you. And it's just like, but it's like for me, that's what it is here. Like when, you know, when I do stuff, because like I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
You know, there's actually a prank that you can play, and whenever you get a chance, so if you call back again, I'm gonna have this product for you that you can buy. It's a little bit expensive, a little pricey, but what it is, it's basically an adapter that you can put to your freaking smartphone that makes the Alexa voice and like the voice and everything a little bit more clearer. So when you speak, it's clear. So what you do is you set the thing to translate.
Are you having problems? Oh no. Oh, I was...
So you set it to freaking translate. So whenever they start talking that shit, you just do what I do. I set it to translate, and I plug in my freaking headphone.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, stranger enough though, a lot of times they aren't talking shit about us. A lot of times they just talk about like regular shit, basically.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So, but anyways, man. Hey, man, I gotta run. This has been wonderful. I've been noticing I've been getting better and better types of calls, man. Like basically when I just give people different choices. Like I didn't want to mesh too much of the F the police type of stuff to this main show. I want to keep this main show to just conversations and just the fucking news. That's it.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I'm glad I found you.
Right. So
no,
and if
I'm
if
glad
you want,
I did have another question though.
Go ahead.
Were you hitting that wax or what earlier?
Oh yeah, this was this year. It's actually CBD. I don't do like THC because I do like because again I have a lot of energy And I don't need like something that's
Yeah,
gonna like
I
hype me up. I
can't.
need something like to calm me down.
No,
CBDs is
I can't.
kind of why I do it.
I can't smoke that shit either anymore. I used to, but yeah, it just gives me anxiety now. So.
Yeah. So, but again though, I really do appreciate this because again, it just allows people to have conversations, man. And I think that the country would be much better if people would just fucking talk. You know.
That's all I ask for.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, you have a great day. I don't know how you feel about freaking masks or anything else, but just be safe and don't get sick. Anything else.
No, I just use HIPAA.
Okay.
I'm
Very
like,
nice.
like you can't, like, yeah, it's like you want to fine? Well then, shut the fuck up.
All right.
No, yeah.
All right, man.
Much love, dude. Much
All
love.
right. Be safe.
All right, you too, man.
Peace. That was a lovely call. I had fun with that, man. I really appreciate that. Again, like I don't mind having conversations that's just like that, man. I would love to have that kind of conversation every freaking day, man. Give you guys news, but then also just have a great time. So we got some more comments in the chat here. Devil's Advocate, hello chat. What's going on, Pepperoni Audits? I love you, brother. Brother from another mother. Make sure you drop your link in the live chat. All right, we have DM Cosmic Cage about what's up, Pepperoni? How you doing? Let's see. Another dark and gloomy day in South Carolina here. Yeah, South Carolina is another dark and gloomy day. How is the COVID numbers doing there? I've been hearing some bad things. It's stormy in North Carolina too. All right, yeah, stormy there too. I've been hearing some bad stuff. Is it been getting colder in South Carolina and North Carolina as compared to like last year? Because I mean, it'd be a damn shame if I've been moving all over the place and getting hit with all these damn snowstorms. Like I was in NYC about 2 weeks ago. And then I went back down to freaking Nevada. I've been just running all over the place, man. All over the place. I say he's a gringo. I ain't just repeating it. I don't want to agree or disagree or any part of that. I don't want to make no kind of racial statement, man. Because I'm not that kind of guy. Anyways, guys, I want to tell you that I appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys watching me. If you guys want more content just like this, hit like button, hit share button. Let people know that I run this content every day. And I also want to just give you the general news story. So I'm going to be clipping a lot of these stories out so that you guys can have it in separate videos so that you have to watch this long podcast. Even though I think that I keep the show flowing very, very well, man. You know, I can talk for hours and hours. I think I keep the show flowing extremely well because I can just get on in front of a fucking mic and just go. I don't need a script. I don't need anything. DM Cosmic Chaos says it's a joke. I agree, brother. I agree. But again, you know, I was just joking around with you that one because in a Biden-Harris administration, I am not gonna be bigoted. I love you, Susan Wojcicki from YouTube. Please stop demonetizing all my shit. In fact, I mean, I haven't even checked. Am I even like monetized anymore? I don't even know anymore. You know, I mean, it's not gonna matter if I am or I ain't, because I wouldn't make any money from YouTube anyways, because everything is like demonetized, like the freaking yellow symbol. I never had the green symbol, not even once, because there's no way you watch my content and think that I'm getting fucking monetized. Oh my God, that is not happening. Oh my God, they're gonna make sure that you're broad. So I actually write a lot of articles for the mainstream media. I write under freaking pen names. I don't want to let you know what those names are. Don't even ask me. I'm not telling you, because if I ever let those pen names get discovered, I'm fucked then. But I also write some articles under my real name. I write for several publications. I'm not going to tell you who. If you want to find out who I am, you're going to have to Google it. Okay? Yeah, thank you again, Slamming Brandon. I really, really love to talk to you again. I appreciate it, you know, your views. And even though we didn't agree on everything, that was just a great conversation, man. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the Pitchfork Podcast. If you want to tune in again, tune in at 8 p.m. Pacific. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our more edgier show, our edgier night show. I want to just get it out there, man. I want to just get it out there, man. All right? I want to have some fun. And so we're going to have a great show for you this evening with an edgy topic that I'm going to just come up with off the fly. Every day it's going to be an edgy topic. I want you to have to change my mind or ask me anything about it. All right, guys, with that being said, I want you all to be safe. Wear a mask if, please, consider it. Just consider it. All right. Try to socially distance as best you can, but if you can't, I get it. I hope you all are doing well out there. Be safe. Good night, good evening, and good luck. Horns up. Peace out.